Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, I am the brother of Mrs. Virginia Robinson, musician, longtime member here at Savannah Grove Baptist Church, where our family worshiped for several years. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Canty, pastor of Savannah Grove Baptist Church, for this opportunity to share my educational experience with you, and also to hopefully motivate our young people and our families about the importance of education and the importance of always valuing wanting to be better. And for us as a people, education is a key. I began my educational career in Florence School District 1, attending Holmes Elementary School, Wilson Junior High School, and Wilson Senior High School, graduating in 1964, moving from there to South Carolina State College and now University from 1964 to 1968, where I received a bachelor's degree in education, math education. And from there, I received a commission as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. I had plans to make the Army a career, but my wife, Ms. Barbara Brooks, did not care for the military. So having the last word in my house, I said, yes, ma'am, and I got out. I came to Florence School District 1 and earned a mathematics position at Moore Junior High School at that time, and taught math for 1 year. And in that first year, the superintendent, Mr. Henry Sneed, asked if I would be interested in becoming an assistant principal at West Florence High School that was founded in 1970. So I said yes. And so beginning 1971 to 1974, I was assistant principal at West Florence High School. And then in August of 1974, I got the opportunity under Superintendent Dr. Bruce Crowley to become principal of Wilson High School. I asked 30 people whether or not I should take the job. One of them included Pastor Canty. And out of 30 people, 28 said yes, 2 said no. The only 2 that said no were the principal and guidance counselor at West Florence High School, and they said that not to be negative, but because they did not want me to leave. So from August of 1974 to June 30th of 2005, I was principal at Wilson High School for 31 years. I went to Wilson High School because as a graduate of Wilson, I got tired of hearing people speak negatively about a school that happened to be predominantly African American in terms of student population. And so I took on the challenge to make sure that excellence existed in a predominantly African American environment as well as any other environment. And so we moved from having a negative perception of Wilson to it becoming a school that received recognition for excellence, not only in academics, but in terms of music, in terms of athletics, and in terms of service. Several of the teachers that were at Wilson when I was a student there, along with my classmates, were there in August of 1974, and all of them were supportive of my efforts And at that time, when I became principal, I was, if not the youngest, perhaps one of the youngest principals of a high school in South Carolina at the age of 28. I never regretted going to Wilson and doing the things that I saw needed to be done. And the accomplishments that were made was because of the team of teachers, administrators, support staff in terms of custodial staff, cafeteria staff, in terms of guidance counselors, media specialists, and more importantly, students that didn't necessarily look at me as being a good thing in the beginning, but as long as I stayed there, my team and I made them believers. And of course, no school is going to be successful without positive parental involvement. And we had a strong parent-teacher-student association that helped us accomplish our goals. One of the things that we wanted to accomplish at Wilson was, and at any school I would encourage, and that is to establish discipline. You're not going to accomplish anything in life unless you have self-discipline. And one of the things that we had to do was to change the culture where we had students, as many as 200 students coming to school late every morning, signing in. We had a seven period day at the time. And I approached the superintendent and asked if I could change the schedule where we'd have first period first and then homeroom, because when I went there, homeroom was first. And of course, that was an administrative establishment to get the roll call, make announcements, and call attention to other administrative materials. But having changed the schedule to where first period was first, we moved from having over 200 students signing in to 5. And so that was one of the things that we needed to impress upon our students, is that we need to get down to business. The other thing we need to be concerned about is the fact that you are as smart as you want to be, and that in your classes, you're expected to do your very, very best. And so we established that, and in 1978, there was a move to build a new Wilson High School and to change the name, and that was defeated. And then in 1980, the referendum was reintroduced, with this time with the school being maintaining the name Wilson High School and being relocated at 1411 Old Marion Highway, which is the present site for Wilson, and where its current principal, Dr. Eric Robinson, is the chief administrator. Well, there, beginning in 1982 to 2005, we were able to maintain one of the most attractive schools in the state. And on August 15th of 1982, Wilson High School was dedicated, and we had 3 speakers in the gymnasium at 3 o'clock that afternoon. The first speaker was the editor at that time of the Florence Morning News, Mr. James Rogers. The second speaker was Dr. Haywood, who was a veteran and a pastor in the Methodist Church, the brother of Dr. Joe Haywood, and he was a graduate of Wilson. And then yours truly was the last speaker to speak. We had refreshments, and we had a tour of the school. And at that time in the Commons area, I heard one of the attendees say this is an attractive school, but we'll see how long it is maintained its beauty. I took that personally and professionally as a challenge, and our students helped to show that it maintained that attractiveness even as it exists today. But more importantly, we wanted to establish expectations, high expectations of students. And our words were knowledge, and still are knowledge, skills, and character. And we, as a team, established the Beatitudes: be present, be on time, behave, and be positive. We had an adopted business that time was People's Natural Gas, that helped us to honor students during each quarter in 3 areas: academics, attendance, and discipline, self-discipline. And we awarded students badges that they wore. And we also had badges for parents, VIP, that established the words very important parent. So with the support that we had from the community and from the faculty, student body, support staff, well, we gained recognition in Red Book magazine. We gained recognition for obtaining a grant from GE, and several members of employed at GE are members of Savannah Grove Baptist Church today. And we had a $500,000 grant over 5 years, and we were able to do a lot of things that helped enhance academics and excellence. The concern that I had then, and a concern that I have today for education, is the fact that we have to have students who have an attitude of wanting to excel. You can be the best that you can be, but you have to want to learn. You have to come to school with an attitude that you are going to, first of all, behave, that you are going to listen to your teachers, that you know how to follow instructions, and that you will do everything you can to enhance your school. One of the things that you don't want to do is to make people think that because it's a predominantly African-American environment, that there are no standards for excellence. Nothing could be further from the truth. But you as students and you as parents must have the commitment to be involved in your school, regardless of what level it is, elementary school, middle school, high school. The foundation for being excellent begins really at home. The standards for excellence begin with having high expectations from parents at home, having responsibilities to make up your bed, wash dishes, do yard work, sweep the floor. That's all of that is not beneath any child learning the responsibility to have a responsibility to work. And that begins at home. That moves to elementary school, the foundation for reading. And there you need to learn how to do cursive writing. You need to learn how to read, and also learn how to know how to follow instructions, because the foundation for your success in middle school and high school is based upon your success in elementary school. Moving forward to middle school, 6, 7, and 8, all grades are important, but you need to understand you need to do your best in all of your classes. Now, that might not mean getting an A, but you strive to make an A. And if you fall short, then you make a B. And in some cases, you may not have the skills as you would like to have, and you'll have a C or a D. Under no circumstances should you receive a failing grade. But under no circumstances should you not apply your best. Under no circumstances are you to misunderstand the fact that we will not get excellent leaders who happen to look like you and me and achieve an accomplishment like President Barack Obama unless you have the skills and apply yourself like Mrs. Michelle Obama. And not only that, right here in Savannah Grove Baptist Church, right here in Florence, South Carolina, excellence is always a desire or a manner, an accomplishment that you want to achieve at all times. Now, we need to understand that just because we have a majority African American population in our school, those of you who have the skills for being smart, don't negate your smartness to try to fit in with those students who don't want to apply themselves. You help them see that they need to strive for excellence as well as you. That making an A, speaking correct English, is not being white. That's being excellent. And you ought not have to apologize for that under any circumstances. Parents, you need to make sure that you're setting the standards in the home, the expectations in the home, in terms of language, in terms of dress, in terms of responsibility. All of that complements having a good education. And so we're at a point today where our education is being challenged, where our history is being challenged. You need to read and understand who Dr. Carter G. Woodson is. You need to read and understand who Hank Aaron is. You need to read and understand who our artists are. You need to know who Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois is. You need to know who our outstanding actresses, actors, who are getting positive roles, and so that you can have positive role models, not only in TV, but desire to have positive role models in our community. Your pastor, your members in your community that live on the same road that you live on. They may not be famous, but they may be who you need to emulate in terms of honesty, respect, having a good job, and working intensely on being excellent in your profession. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King challenged us. We need to sweep streets like Michelangelo painted paintings. We need to understand you don't have to apologize, and you don't for being excellent. And those of us who are not doing our best, we need to have a change in attitude and do our best right now. Where are we going to get our doctors? Where are we going to get our pediatricians? Where are we going to get our attorneys? Where are we going to get our responsible government officials if we don't have people who look like us, who have the qualifications for the position? And we don't need to be jealous or envious of anybody. We can become the best that we can be, and that is all that is required of us, that we be the best. That's what excellence is, doing one's best. And so I want us to understand that education is what helped us get where we are today. And it is no less important today than it was when our parents, our grandparents, and our ancestors did less. They did more with less, and we don't need to do less with more. The opportunity for us to do is here for the taking. And I challenge all of us that right now, parents, get into the schools. Find out what your children are doing. Find out how they're doing in their classes. Find out how they're doing in their homework. Make sure that they do their homework. Homework is schoolwork to go. That's fast food education. So it is just as important. And that's how you get to do well on your exams and your tests, because you practice. And when you practice, you find out what mistakes you make before you get to the test. So parents, your role is just as important as anybody else's. Go out to the school and become knowledgeable of your teachers, no matter who they are. Let them know that you care about your child. You care about what they're doing. And if they're not behaving, then there's a need for them to know that you have standards of behavior at home. And if they're misbehaving at school, then they need to let you know. Support your custodians, your cafeteria workers. Those jobs are very, very important. There's just as much dignity in sweeping a floor as there is standing in front of a classroom teaching. Teaching is a very, very noble and honorable position. And I want you to understand that it's time out for playing and misbehaving. It's time out for going to school and doing everything but behaving, learning, and creating an atmosphere. I know a lot of you like sports, but we need to understand that we need to also be working on a vocabulary. We need to know how to speak. We need to know how to write. We need to know how to do cursive writing. We need to know how to spell. We need to know that when you go to apply for a job, that what is going to get you your job is the qualifications for your job. And listen, dress appropriately. Stop hanging your pants around your rah-rah bummery. That ain't nothing but nastiness. And that is not has anything to do about being black. And that young ladies, respect yourself. You don't need to be worrying about trying to impress no fella. You carry yourself like a lady. They'll find you. You don't need to find them. And so, please, in my closing, I want you to understand that you need to know what time it is. There's no time for playing now. You need to take advantage of every opportunity to go to school, because we didn't always have that opportunity. We didn't always have the opportunity to ride a bus. We didn't always have the opportunity to drive a car or ride in a car. Some of us, we had the only car in our community was a Chevrolet. Chev your left foot and lay to right. That's what we did. And so today, do your best. And I wish you the best. Thank you, and have a great school year.